Steven, is Ironheart worth watching at this point?
It's hard to tell. So here's my problem. We've had some really good comic book shows in the forms of The Penguin from last year.
Yep.
And I know Marvel's trying to get rid of all of their stuff that was kind of that big thing of like Kevin Feige not being over all of it, but they were under pressure from Disney.
I guess namely they retooled Daredevil Born Again to fit this bigger style.
Exactly. So Ironheart feels like the dredges of that, but at the same time, it's got a little bit of heart to it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it, but at the same time, there's something missing. I love the way they handle loss and grief in the show. I think they're doing it really well. Riri, the main character, does show a lot of that loss and like panic attacks and not being able to go to the place where she's lost her sister and stepdad. All of that is really well done. But then there's other times Riri tries to play the victim to the dean. Spoilers, obviously, for the show, where she's like, you're trying to make me feel small. You're trying to make me this and that. And she goes, do you see me? I am you. Well, you think I'm the one trying to make you feel small? I've tailored an entire curriculum just for you.
Yeah.
You're the one throwing it all away. And there's two big griefs I have with the show. One, she says it several times, I don't have the resources that Tony Stark does, so I have to do all of these questionable things to get the money.
Yeah.
One of the most well-known memes in the past 2 years is Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah.
You don't need the resources if you're as smart as you say you are, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's a big problem with me is like, I'm not as privileged as he is, so I can't have the same things. You can. Build something, sell it, and then use that money kind of thing,
I think that's what, she was doing that, but in an unethical way. She was selling like projects to other students to kind of get them.
And there's an ethical way of doing it. You're working for MIT for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. And then also Riri is the classic example, we've been having this a lot lately, of quote unquote smart people that just constantly do dumb things. The entire show, she's doing dumb things.
Well, I think she is, I don't know, she feels like trapped. I think I don't know exactly where the idea comes from, but I think she just pulls from this sort of shady place more so than like, wanting to go through and like get a job working like at the food store or whatever.
And that's what that kind of is like. You think you're too good for that, And someone who not to put my too personal, but someone who's recently unemployed. She at one point was like, "You want me to work in Silicon Valley with a tiny window job for the rest of my life?" Lady, that's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be making six figures in a tech job.
Well, she wants to be iconic. She wants to be like, there's a lot of like legacy talk in this. There's a lot of, I want to put my mark on the world. Yeah. I want to build something beautiful, not just functional.
It just comes off as better than you. As someone, she's trying to play the victim, but also say that she's better than that kind of, because she's in a group with a bunch of criminals and she tells the guy, I'm not a criminal. I'm not like you guys. I'm only doing this to do this. No, you're a criminal. You literally extorted, blackmailed, by the end of this committed murder, you're a criminal.
It's like the means justify the outcome almost. Yeah. Like I think that's in her head, like she's not a criminal up until that last moment where she trapped the guy in the thing.
I've actually just came to that realization is the way that she acts better than your average citizen, but then she's too good for an average job.
Yeah.
No one's too good for anything, especially if you're down on your luck, hurting for money and stuff. She'd rather ask that man at the junk shop to give her an advancement, or like a loan before she'd go work a 9-to-5 job to fund this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I just don't like that. You know what I mean?
Well, they go through, that's just her character. Like she's not going to work at a fast food place because she wants to be spending all of her time, all of her resources, all of her effort into building her suit. I think she even says like all the money I get goes back into the suit kind of thing. I just feel like I actually like that direction because it puts her in a shady spot. Like it puts her in a bad place.
Yeah.
Where heroes should not typically be in like a gang with like gangbangers or whatever.
Yeah. How do you feel about the gang?
They're very
unmemorable, right?
There's one character called Slug, and I looked up, and it's like some big fat X-Men guy.
Yeah.
It gave heavy like CW Flash.
Chester P. Runk.
Chester P. Runk.
You get someone like Eric Andre, who could sell a misfit band, and then you get rid of him.
That character Rampage. Oh God, I hate in movies and TV, and specifically like comic book adaptations when it's like you have a name from the comic, but like clearly no one wants to call them that name. They keep making fun of that name.
Yeah.
Then why even bother? Like that's just not funny. You know what I mean? Call me Rampage. Everybody's like, no, we hate you. You're Eric or whatever. Or
Stewart.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, but that character actually he's in the Punisher comics.
Oh, really?
He's an ex-supervillain that helps Punisher. Like with his after Micro gets
But
gone.
the thing is, he's a great actor. Mm-hmm. Don't get rid of his character. Keep him in the group of people because he's pulling half the weight of the rest of this crew. Because the only other person memorable is the lady who likes the pyromaniac lady.
Yeah, the clown, I think her name was.
Yeah,
clown.
She had,
like the clown buns.
She's one of the only ones that gets talking time. But
that's exactly, yeah. I mean, I didn't mind her.
She's good when she's talking.
I didn't mind her. She was like, at least she had some character. Like, she's just really obsessed with fireworks or firearms.
Yeah.
Not firearms, explosives.
Pyrotechnics.
I liked at least that she had like a thing, like with the twins and then
they
Slug.
just fought people.
It's just not memorable. If it was more memorable, I think do it. You know what I mean? Like Ant-Man is a good example. Ant-Man's kind of like if you haven't watched it in a while, you probably forget a lot of the stuff. But I genuinely do remember his crew. Like his friends.
They were so funny. We got T.I. as one guy. Yeah, and then the Hood. I didn't like the actor going in. I already knew I wasn't going to like him.
Yeah.
And then
Anthony Ramos.
Yeah, they give him that hood. It's so
He's not very scary, but I don't think they wanted him to be super scary until he like kills the guy at the third
but even then I'm
episode.
not even that phased by it.
They make his eyes dark and they kind of play scary music, but I'm like, this is a lollipop man. This is not a scary man.
No, it's not. And the Hood is just so which I guess it's supposed to be unassuming, but at the same time, I'd like it to be a little more intimidating. You know?
Yeah.
The fact that she's able to cut a piece of that hood off and not get noticed, like by the Hood or him, because the Hood's got like a sentience to it.
Yeah, sure, maybe.
So I don't know. I told you this, and I don't think it's a good thing to think this, but I was like, well, maybe the next 3 episodes will be where it's good. But I was like, I shouldn't have that reaction 3 episodes into a TV show.
Yeah.
You know? It should have already grabbed me.
I will say this, I don't know, we were talking about this earlier before, and I said I had a big point to make. And my big point is, this feels like a CW show to me.
Ooh,
it feels like
a bigger budget.
A bigger budget CW show with less episodes, thankfully.
Yeah.
That some of those CW seasons went way long. But we liked some of those CW shows.
Yeah, at least had heart to it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's kind of where the show excels is like Riri's characterization as, a grieving student as well. Maybe that's kind of why she's acting out too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just trying to...
It's been like only 5 years grief.
Yeah.
It never leaves you.
Never,
you know what I mean?
Especially like she can't even really go back to that garage that they were...
Well, she went there. She just saw all of it again, you know? Which I do like her and the AI together. I think that's a really good thing.
That was where the heart was for me. It was like their relationship. And that's sort of an interesting conversation about AI. Thank you to our members, Glenn F. and S55 God.
We're just going to start calling you Gavin. You know who you are. We're not going to use your username anymore. Get over it.
And we appreciate you guys so much for joining our membership. If you want to join, there's a button down here. We have trailer reactions and we have uncut, uncensored, unabridged versions of the podcast. We're also going to try to start doing some live streams once we get like maybe 10 members or so.
Yeah.
But go ahead and join up now and we'll make some really cool stuff in there.
At 5 members, I will read the Ultimate Spider-Man issues and talk about that, which is like 20 issues or something.
Specifically for you, Lightning.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Don't say I never did nothing for you.
Her portrayal of like not because in Wakanda Forever she was sort of like just comedy relief.
Yeah,
I'm glad they didn't take her that way in this. I mean, she's funny, but she's not like.
I almost hate that she was in that because why is she poor now?
Well, I mean, she was always poor. She got kicked out of MIT for selling horrible things.
But you have Wakanda. You just helped them save their country.
But they took the stuff away and put her back. So
they could pay her though.
They could have.
They could give her money for her own research.
Could have just given her some vibranium or something too. You know what I mean?
Like they have youth outreach programs we saw from Black Panther. They could easily funnel some of that money to Riri. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, knowing that you had that, it just makes this a little more unbelievable too.
Yeah.
It's a.
But that's where she got her idea for the AI. She had to scan her brainwaves and create a copy of her best friend.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
I can't wait to see how that happened because she was like, that's not how this is supposed to work at all.
Yeah, I'm assuming we'll get some backstory but I don't know. Like, I do feel bad for the AI because in all respects, like she thinks she's real, but she knows she's like a program. And I think Riri doesn't accept it as a person yet. You know?
I tell you too, dude, it really hits you when the mom is like, oh my God, you captured like her soul, like you brought her back, and she's like so proud, and then you see her crack, and she's just like, can you make that, for Gary, you know, my husband that died, and you can see all the strong motherly stuff just melt out of her, and she's just a vulnerable, grieving widow, and it's just that cut you deep, in my opinion. I think that was really good acting, a really good message and stuff, because you can't do that, you can't make everyone this AI person of someone they've lost, because then it's just, it's asking for trouble,
and even like that's sort of a bad idea. Like even like Riri kind of has this idea of like I shouldn't be talking to you. I shouldn't be, interacting with you at all, but then she kind of does break because she just needs the AI assistance. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's interesting for sure. I mean, I think that'll kind of strengthen. Although the AI, I agree with her on certain topics. Like she's saying that she doesn't trust the hood, Parker, I think his name is
Parker.
She doesn't trust him, and I think she's trying to get Riri away from this. You know what I mean? And then it kind of does show her she's like stuck in this weird criminal enterprise now, and that's where the whole season or episode 3 I thought was kind of strong, because now she's trying to have leverage on the hood. She's trying to analyze the hood and get a piece of it, and it's like all these things. She gets her buddy Joe.
Did you think that was wise to just throw Obadiah Stane's son in there? Is he part of Ironheart, or they just did that as like another tie-in to Tony Stark stuff?
It might just be a different tie-in. It could be like a comment on legacy, like what is Obadiah Stane's legacy versus like I guess Ironheart is going to turn into Tony Stark's legacy. You know,
I do like to, because you have this a lot with legacy type things where they bash the original.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm the new, upgraded, improved. You know, they've got nothing on me. But she literally says like, I'm not going to speak ill of him. This guy laid the foundation of so much stuff. Yep. I'm not going to disrespect his
even
name,
when she's like, no hate. He had a lot more money than me. Like she's right. I mean, you're right about like he can build a thing in a cave in a box of scraps or whatever, but like he made like 50 different models.
Yeah.
She can't keep one model in working order. You know what I mean?
I do love interactive titles are so sick.
That's
it's so good, dude. It just adds a little bit of heart, a little bit of just creative touch to a show, you know, that I love. You see it on like the sign or when she falls and rolls into Ironheart. I like that a lot. It's a nice
like
touch.
Money when they're like spraying money out.
Yes, and it says like Ironheart. I was thinking in my head, I was like, so is this CG or did they actually like spell out Ironheart with like bills and stuff? Like
I always assume stuff is just. I always assume it's like, I'll do it in post.
Yeah,
but you never know. I mean, I don't know. I do think it has room to grow. Yeah. It got review bombed obviously by horrible people. Yeah. It got review bombed like 20 minutes after it dropped. So like,
and this
obviously
is what
no one
sucks
watched
too,
it.
Because
you know?
we get problems where studios don't listen or they do listen, but they don't listen because like, oh, they're gonna hate it, but we know that it'll make money kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we can't trust if they actually hate it or if they're just review bombing. Can you just watch something and then tell me if you like it or not? Like, why? Yeah. What blows my mind, because we have this conversation in the video game I play, Destiny 2, where people who hate the game or hate the show, in this case, they drop it, they don't do it, they still orbit it.
Yeah.
And they spend so much of their life hating on something that they're either never going to watch/play or they want it to return to some glory that just in their mind is what existed. You know what I mean? It's like, that's got to be a miserable life. You know what I mean? To like, I'll never watch another Marvel project again, but I'm going to circle Marvel. And every time they come out with something, I'm going to be the number one hater disliking it and stuff.
Yeah.
And not to pat myself on the back, I told you years ago, I don't like Star Wars. I think I'm done with Star Wars. I have not kept up with a single thing Star Wars does. Someone asked me, nope, don't like it. I like Rogue One. I think I like the prequels. I'm not really sure. Don't follow it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these people who don't like something and then they just hover around it the entire time afterwards, it's like, find something that makes you happy. Can you do that? Like, leave this alone and let the people who want to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it blows my mind that there's people out there that just do that.
I never watched Agatha All Along, but I think this already, like these first 3 episodes they're all right. I mean, they're not like, I don't know. It was a show like I just hated. Like I never watched She-Hulk either, but like I heard that was bad. Secret Invasion I heard was bad.
It's better than both of those shows. I watched both of those. This show is better. That's the thing. This show is good.
Yeah.
It's just missing that little extra for me.
I would say if it had some more interesting characters, or like even like she's friends with a guy named Xavier. I don't know if it's like a.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
I didn't dislike that character. I don't dislike the cronies in the gang.
Yeah.
They're just not interesting. They're not. Yeah. They're not. Even like the Hood and like his brother. It's just not there for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that there's some mystery and there's maybe some like devil shit going on.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I think Mephisto might show up. I think I heard rumors about that or something. Or maybe he showed up in the trailer or something.
Show someone other than this Parker guy, because I don't like him. I'm hoping he's not the main bad for the rest of the episode.
Are you just biased because that's the actor? You don't like the actor?
I don't like the actor. I think the character suffers on the fact that the actor sucks. I don't like that actor.
He's not my favorite character.
He was supposed to be in like a Bob the Builder remake. Is that ever happening?
Roberto the Builder?
Yeah.
Maybe. I bet it's still happening, yeah.
But I didn't like him in Transformers. I didn't like him in this.
He's the farting piranha in the Bad Guys.
I'm sure he is. He probably sucks in that too.
He's my least favorite character.
There you go. I just don't like him, you know?
A lot of times Hollywood pushes, I think like with, there's that guy who flips a bunch, that musician guy.
Benson Boone?
I feel like he's like the Benson Boone of acting, where it's like someone has a good handle on like wanting this man to be a big star, but like no one really likes them.
A lot of people are shitting on that kind of music right now too. Like Benson Boone, Alex Warren, they all have this like weird songy thing. They're like, it makes you think it's good, but it's only good for like truck commercials. That's what somebody said.
It's good for 10 seconds in a TikTok.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it really is.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the show. I think I liked it a little bit more than you, but that's just par for the course with us. I'm a little more forgiving.
I didn't hate it. I think I'm going to kind of withhold because we were talking about how some of the Marvel shows just get ruined by the finales. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping this has a really strong finale.
Carried by the finale,
right?
Dude.
Exactly.
So good.
Examples being like Loki had a really good finale, but like Moon Knight had one of the worst finales of a TV show I've ever seen.
And it had such good build up. Moon Knight had such good build up, dude.
It just needed like a good like solidifying like last like episode or two to make the whole thing come together.
I feel like they just took out a few episodes that needed to stay in. Maybe you know.
Yeah.
Same with Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel had a good first few episodes, and then it fell off a cliff too. It just ended.
It's weird. Do you like this release schedule at all? Like the 3 and 3?
I'm okay with 3 and 3. I think it's just because Disney wants it gone. They like get rid of all this stuff that we've been backlogged on because they've got like 9 things coming out this year.
Do you think it was like she's a black girl? This won't do well with the racists. You think we should just go ahead and shove it out?
I don't think so because most people these days aren't like that. You have the loud minority yelling that, you know, but most people are going to watch it and appreciate it. You know what I mean? And it's so weird for people too. Like, this isn't a pat on the back. I've got no problem with her being black, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the character was created in the comics. Like, it's not like it's coming from nowhere.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's fine. I don't dislike Riri or the actress who plays her. I think she does a really good job. Yeah. The show as a whole, I think, just isn't that good, you know?
I think there's a bones of a good thing. Like, I like that she's getting in gang activity to, like, fund her suit. I think that's interesting enough.
Yeah.
And it sort of, like, parallels Tony Stark because he was, like, a weapons dealer for a long time. Yeah. So he was also a shady character.
Exactly.
That kind of came into this. The only difference is that she has the Iron Man suit while she's doing shady things.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think it could be interesting. I think, you know, if this character decides to join the Young Avengers or whatever, I'd be happy with her being there.
Yeah, I'm chill with it. I think it just suffers a little bit from the writing aspect. Yeah. You know, writing, and then some of the characters just aren't that good.
Yeah.
Actors-wise. Still, though, I think I give it like a 6.5, something like that.
Yeah.
Little over average, but still, it's just missing something, man. It's just missing something. It's not Fallout. It's not Penguin level.
Yeah.
And at this point, if it's not that level, do I even want to watch it? Then when there's so much stuff to watch these days, you know what I mean?
There's a good heart there. There's a good like emotionality, especially with the dead person, the Natalie, you know, coming back and everything. But you're right. I think it needed like 1 or 2 extra special side characters to kind of kick it up over. Yeah. And then like they killed Eric Andre, who had like the most personality out of those folks. So it is what it is.
And the second one was the knife throwing guy. He was probably the second one with the most like character background and like acting chops. Yeah. And again, maybe just because he talked the most, but
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. It was good. It wasn't great.
I would say if you're just an MCU completionist, watch it and probably have no problems with it. Otherwise, you can probably skip it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, the only thing I've skipped so far is Agatha all along.
Yeah. We should probably watch it at some point just to be like.
But what are your guys' thoughts on it? Did you like it? Have you watched it yet? If you haven't, you can go check it out. If you already have a Disney Plus subscription, it's 3 hours of your time, you know.
I would say just wait until the next 3 come out.
Yeah, that's what I told my girlfriend actually. Yep. I was explaining the plot to her and she was okay with me spoiling things. And she's like, maybe I'll watch it. And I was like, just wait till next week. All 6 episodes will be out. Watch them. Make your opinion on them.
Another thing too I didn't mention, there's a lot of like slang terms. Like a lot of hip talk, you know what I mean? Yes, dude. Everything's sus or, you know, you're
a little too much like grown-ups. Well, I guess grown-ups say those words now.
It's not out of place.
The older generation is like writing it for the younger generation.
I just kept waiting for someone to say skibbity toilet. Yeah. I'll turn it off. Yeah. It hasn't happened yet. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think is my thing. Okay out of 10.
Disney's made some worse shows and they've made some better shows. That's where we're at right now. It's because we've only seen 3 episodes, so the next 3 episodes might be insane.
But
you never know.
The first half of a show, you know what I mean?
That's what's going to keep your attention, catch you and keep your attention. So.
But yeah, go give it a look-see maybe next week once it all comes out. Or, just get the review from us and maybe that's enough for you. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.